You don't miss them. You miss who you were with them. What if I told you? You don't actually miss them. You miss the person you were when they were still in your life. You miss laughing without forcing it. You miss checking your phone and smiling. You miss having someone to tell about your day. And maybe that's why moving on feels impossible. Because it doesn't feel like you lost a person. It feels like you lost a part of yourself. Heartbreak is strange. People tell you, just move on. Forget them. There are plenty of people in the world. But if it were that easy, you would have done it already. Because the truth is, you're not mourning a person. You're mourning memories. The late-night conversations. The inside jokes. The version of yourself that believed things would work out. And that's why, months later, sometimes years later, you still find yourself rereading old messages, revisiting old photos, wondering what they're doing, wondering if they ever think about you too, not because you're weak, not because you're obsessed, but because human beings become attached. And attachment can feel a lot like love. But here's the question no one asks. If they came back today, would you actually want them back? Or do you simply want the feeling they gave you? The feeling of being chosen, being understood, being important to someone. Because those are two very different things. And sometimes, we're not holding on to a person. We're holding on to a version of ourselves that no longer exists. The hardest part about losing someone is realizing that life keeps moving. The world doesn't stop. People continue posting, laughing, living, and somehow, you're expected to do the same. Meanwhile, a part of you is still living in a moment that ended a long time ago. But here's something I need you to remember. Allah never takes something from you without knowing exactly what He's doing. Maybe they left because they were never meant to stay. Maybe the chapter ended because Allah refused to let your story end there. And maybe the person you lost was never your destination. They were only a lesson on the way to it. Sometimes we become so attached to people that we forget the one who never left us. People change. People leave. People disappoint us. But Allah remained beside you through every tear. He heard every dua you whispered at 2 a.m. He saw every night you cried yourself to sleep, and He stayed, even when everyone else didn't. So if today, you're still struggling to let go, stop asking, why did I lose them? And start asking, what is Allah trying to teach me through this? Maybe He's teaching you patience. Maybe He's teaching you that your heart was never meant to belong to His creation. Or maybe He's teaching you that your worth was never supposed to depend on whether someone stayed. Ending. One day, you'll wake up and realize you haven't thought about them all day. You'll laugh again. You'll smile again. And you'll become someone they would no longer recognize. Not because you forgot them, but because Allah healed the parts of you that they broke. And perhaps, the greatest plot twist of all, is that you were never meant to spend your life finding them. You were meant to spend it finding yourself. And finding Allah. Because maybe, you don't miss them. You just miss who you were. Before you learned that only Allah stays. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.